and I won't waste it.
Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Growing the Dream here on Witcombe Park Farm. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a brilliant day. So, as I said we would have done, we are starting off this episode halfway through this linseed harvest where we left off at the end of the last episode. Yeah, so we've got a little bit more to crack on with. As you'll see though, I'm running a little bit slower than what I was in the last episode. Now, bringing up, I wanted to give a bit of a mention to a handful of viewers from the comment section of the last episode, just for helping me along. I am not ashamed to say that I don't know the full ins and outs of a whole host of the mods that I'm running on this series. Obviously the realistic ones, realistic livestock, realistic harvesting. There's a plethora of others as well that I haven't really dived into yet, but I'm sure we will get there in due course. But yeah, I've just dived in at the deep end with this one. I've just activated all the mods and just hoped for the best. Now, I want to give a shout out to Mikey Ono 2552 and KVD 6427 first and foremost. Many thanks to you guys for giving me the knowledge of the food scale option in realistic livestock. This is on the back of me noticing that in my cow barns, in fact in all of my animal pastures and barns as it were, my animals are all seem to have months and months and months of food in there to eat along with them. So at the end of the day, that would kind of give me much less to do, and it seems wholeheartedly unrealistic. So what I've done is I've increased that food scale from 100% as it is default to 500%, just to to give myself more to do, I suppose, and just to make it a little bit more realistic. I think I have found a fix for the cows, because even though I have increase that food scale to 500%, at the minute it's still saying that the amounts of food that I have in the dairy barn there and the other pastures, for example, it still seems to say I've still got months and months and months left to go. So what I think the quick fix is for me to change that is to amend the capacity of the cow barn in total. So instead of it having 90,000 litres worth of total capacity, I need to reduce that significantly, so it only gives me maybe a month's worth of feed, if that makes any sense. So I've still yet to make that amendment, because I still need to make sure that the numbers are right. But anyway, the point is I think I found a fix for that. The other little it's not really a glitch or a problem, but it was the jiggling bales that I'd experienced when I picked up the straw out of one of the fields we harvested in the last couple of episodes. I have disabled the RMC stiff belt mod, and that seems to have fixed it. I did test it very quickly, threw a load of bales onto the trailer and dragged it along the road with the telehandler, and it seemed to have fixed it. So yeah, I think I've fixed that one. The two viewers who I want to give a shout out to also are P Money G 7169 and Haley Joshua, for telling me that the amounts that I had displayed in my cow barn in particular, because that's the one I brought to our attention, apparently that the amounts that I'm looking at there were roughly about right. So that's what led me to believe that I do need to change amend the capacity of the dairy barn and possibly the other pastures as well. But we'll do that in due course, as I say. So, but I also want to give a big shout out to a user that I am not even going to try and pronounce your name. I'm just going to put a little screenshot of the comment that I left me on here, but it's regarding the realistic harvesting mod that I'm running here. As you'll see, we're running at 3 miles an hour. In the last episode, the detail box on the right hand side of the screen there, the realistic harvesting there, I was running the cutter speed was running well north of 100%, and because of that I was going to be losing a whole load of yield. So the first half of this harvest that I've potentially lost quite a bit of crop because I was running the harvester too fast. So what I have done is you can bring up there's actually a menu that I hadn't realised was there for realistic harvesting. It takes up quite a bit of screen space, I appreciate that, but you can specify that the crop that you're working in, and in this case obviously I've selected linseed, and it does alter the rotor speeds, the fan speeds, and all these different settings here to suit the crop that you're working with. So I've done that, specified linseed, and what I have actually had to do as well is dial down the speed of the courseplay worker that I'm running at the minute right down to 3 miles an hour in order to keep that top percentage speed there as low as possible, because as soon as I increase the field work speed in courseplay just by 1 notch, that rockets right up to 80-90%, and it starts going yellow and then now and again red as well. So this is, from what I can tell, the best speed now to run courseplay course out. So that's pretty much that. So yeah, I do appreciate all of your help and your guidance and advice and stuff in the comments though, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't know the full ins and outs of all these mods. As I've said a couple of times since the start of this series, I've not played at all really with a lot of these realistic mods, but I am really excited to do what I'm doing here. It's a great learning curve, and it just goes to show the level of genius that a lot of these mods bring to the game, and the depth and playability and longevity that they bring to the game as well. I just think it's brilliant. So even though I'm learning on the fly, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I really am. And it really helps. And I'm not one of these people who can learn straight away just by reading a guide to using a particular mod or reading the instructions or anything like that. I prefer, and I learn better by just doing it and making the mistakes, making the errors, and learning how to, you know, better yourself in that respect. And like I say, just learn on the fly and make the mistakes, learn from them, learn how to solve them, and get better at them. And yeah, that's how I do it. It just works better in my head. I'm sure I'm not the only one who works that way. But yeah, so that's that. So a huge thanks to all of you viewers who are leaving me these comments. It's greatly appreciated. You've no idea. So yeah, if you notice any more mistakes I'm making, please just call me out on them. Let me know. Give us a shout. Really appreciate it. So as you'll see, we have got a couple of contracts taken on as well. These were a kind of a bit of a no-brainer. They're harvesting contracts, and they are right local to us where we are now. So once we finish this linseed, we're going to be making our way to field 32 here to do a field of sorghum, and then to field 35 to do a field of canola, and they are literally just on the way home essentially, so it makes sense to do them. Collectively, they're going to bring in a good few grand. I think, if I remind myself where we're at now, let's just jump into the contracts menu. Look who we're doing this one for as well, Oxy. So what have we got there? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, it's about 16, 17 grand's worth of contracts there, plus any residual income we might get from any leftover crop once we've satisfied the criteria of the contract. So yeah, that's all that. So what I think I'm going to do, because we've all seen harvesting, of course, what I think I'm going to do is get this field, finished off. We're going to take it over to my silo. Now, one thing I do want to bring up as well, in the last episode, when I started this job, I was going to, I think I'd said, oh, I'm just going to take the product straight to a sell point and get it sold. But there was quite a decent price difference between where we're currently at for the value of the crop and where we could be in a couple of months' time. There was about 150 quid, give or take a bit, per 1,000 litres, so it's actually better for me at the minute, I think, just to take everything over to the silo and store it for a couple of months. There's a few other things I need to bear in mind, of course. I'm running the moisture mod. The moisture mod has had an update very recently by Oz, who's an absolute legend, and this moisture mod now, I'm just going to throw a quick screenshot here of the message that I got when I opened up the save for the first time this morning, that it now offers a bit of a grain drying service, I want to say, for want of a better description. So I've got that to bear in mind as well. There's the possibility of drying the grain a bit further off to get a bit more value and a bit more quality from it. But of course, I'm also running the fresh mod as well, which does allow for the degradation of products over time as well. So it's a case of finding the happy medium with all this, isn't it? Again, massive learning curve. So I'm going to keep an eye on that price, keep an eye on the quality of the grains that we have in the silo over the next month or so, and just see where we're at and see if I can judge for myself when the best sell time is. But for now, we'll be taking it to the silo and just stowing it away there. But yeah, got a little bit of time left in this field. Of course, running at this slower speed at 3 miles an hour, it's going to take me a bit of time. and then we'll get the other 2 contracts done as well. And I think what I'll do is I'll just compress them all into a couple of minutes worth of cinematic, get them done, and then moving forward, I do have a plan. Now, it's not a plan that's 100% set in stone yet, but a bit of a field plan. It's not a crop rotation plan. I do have a crop rotation mod running on this save as well, but I'm not going to dive into that just yet. I'll go through the plan that I've got in my mind with you when we're done all this and we've got all the machinery back home. I need to give the machinery a check over, give each of the bits of kit here another inspection, particularly the John Deere, because that's been working for about 8 or so hours now since we purchased it, since we bought it brand new, and I think that might be in need of a little bit of just a small coat of looking at, maybe a quick blowout of the air filters and radiators perhaps. But we'll see. We'll check on all that in a bit when we've done these harvesting jobs. So hopefully, in a couple of hours' time, when all this is done, we'll have a little bit more money in the bank from the contracts, a little bit of extra money as well, possibly from some residual crops. But we'll get cracking anyway, get this all done, and I'll pick you up in a while and we'll go through this field plan and I'll show you what I've got in mind. So, let's get to it.
I'm so sorry to hear that you crestfallen alone now. Do you believe in it's new? Something bigger than you, love. Something bigger than me. And do you wish it was true, love? Do you wish it was me? You see it. Something small, just a flicker, and you swear it was real, but you were fooled before. For the first time, for the last time, for the first time, for the last time.
Right, so welcome back folks, here we are halfway through the sorghum harvest now. As you can see from the contract state at the top right there, 55% of the way through it, so just over halfway. But we did have a little bit of an issue when we were finishing off the contract for the previous one. What was that for again? My mind's gone completely blank there. Canola, yeah, for the canola harvest. Now, we essentially only had, it was a very small, relatively small field anyway, we only had about 48% of product in the trailer. We'd harvested the whole field, got it pretty much done in one hit, so the yield wasn't particularly good off that field. But when we came to take the product over to the farm shop to sell it, that's where we were meant to sell it for the contract, we didn't have enough in the trailer to finish the contract by about 6 or 7%. Now, I've got a funny feeling that that might be down to one of the mods that we got running on here, possibly the moisture mod, one of them, or potentially the realistic harvesting mod at the end of the day. If there's an opportunity or a chance that we could lose yield as a result of one of the settings that we've got, or our behaviour in the field, running too fast, running too slow, whatever, that may well bring up a bit of a conflict, as it were, in being able to turn in the contract. So obviously I was able to finish it because I just manually added in a couple of 100 litres at a time of canola into the trailer, so it's, you know, just using easy development control. So, but I made sure I didn't profit from it in any way. So we'd have earned a couple of quid from any residual crop that we had left over, but essentially we made an extra £380 once we'd tipped everything in. So yeah, there is that to consider. It's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. There's always been issues with contracts now and again, hasn't there, in the game, quite often. Not being able to turn in contracts because you haven't got enough crop off the field and all that kind of stuff. So hey ho, it is what it is. We'll see where we get to with this one as well. I've got all the settings right. I've got realistic harvesting specified to run that we're harvesting canola. So there's not much more I can do. I've got the speed. The speed's actually all right on the in our linseed field. I had to dial it right down, but as you can see, we're running at a nice, pleasant 6 miles an hour at the moment. And everything seems to be relatively hunky-dory. So that 80, if you look at the top left info box there, that 82% yield that we've got there has been pretty much solid across this whole field. So we'll see how we get on. We've got 66%, 6,000, almost 7,000 litres now in the hopper behind us. And this has been pretty much everything that we've had off the field so far. So I've got a funny feeling we might get most of it in one hit, maybe. We'll see. But either way, I'll get this finished off now, and I will pick you up in the tractor when we're over at the Witcombe mill. I think that's where we've got to take it to. So yeah, I'll pick you up there in a wee while's time when we're done, and we'll see how we get on with turning the... Well, not turning the contracts in just yet, but seeing how we get on for finishing the contract with what we've been able to harvest off this field. So, see you soon. Right, here we are on the way to Oak Bridge Mill. I think I said Witcombe Mill before, didn't I? Forgive me, that's completely wrong. Oak Bridge Mill. So we've got just over 9,000 litres in the trailer behind us, but honestly, I really don't think this is going to cut the mustard, as it were. We're 80% through the contract. I have made sure that I cut every single piece of crop off the field. But yeah, I'm not confident that this is going to turn in with what we've got here, so I may have to just manually add in a couple of litres at a time into the trailer just so we can complete the contract. But I must admit, I've noticed since making this recording of this video, the performance of the game has dropped massively. I know a handful of people over on my Discord yesterday were saying the similar thing. Since the patch, there has been a noticeable decrease in the performance of the game, which is... what are you doing here now? They're idiots. They really are. Honestly. I suppose maybe that's a touch of realism that Oxy's added to the map, perhaps. Idiot drivers, because that's certainly what we've got plenty of over here in the UK. You're going to come to a stop. Please don't bump into him. I'm on auto drive here. And there we are. Right. Turn that off. Goodness me. Shocking. That's going to have added some damage to my tractor and all, isn't it? Dear me. Fellow farmer just coming to a sudden standstill there on the road. Anyway. But yeah, if any of you have noticed a decrease in performance of your game, please do let me know in the comments. I'm, like I say, I've tried my very best to get this running as best as possible, but there's been quite a few stutters, micro stutters and such, that I know a few folks over on Discord have noticed. But anyway, right, here we are. Let's see where we get to with this. 9,000 litres, that's going to go... Goodness me. No, nowhere near. Wow, okay. Right. Let's just turn auto drive off very quickly there. Okay. Now we're going to have to... What do we reckon here? 46% transported. Right. Let's add in... Let's say... What do we want? We want sorghum, don't we? We don't want to fill it, I want to set it, and I'm going to say, let's try 5,000 first. I don't want to be adding too much in. Nope. Let's try another 5,000. There we go. Trying to get it dead close so I don't... Oh, there we go. Perfect. 175 quid. That'll do. So we needed another 10,000 litres essentially. And maybe that's, I think like I mentioned before, that's clearly what we've lost. Or what the moisture mods and all those kind of mods and the realistic harvesting mods have essentially lost while harvesting that field, eh? Whether the crop wasn't quite right, the harvester wasn't running at quite the right speed, too fast, too slow. I'm not too sure, but they clearly don't work necessarily very well with the base default contracts part of the game anyway. But anyway, job's done, that's all that matters. And while I'm here, actually, let's come to a stop on this rather lovely little bridge. Let's jump into our contracts menu. Where are we? There we go. Active, so yeah, we'll collect that one. Check it out, honestly. Oxy with his ciggy and his gun, goodness me. Right, collect that. Lovely stuff. Right, where are we at now? £88,132. Excellent stuff. So what that does mean I can do is I can spend a couple of £1,000 on a jet washer, because I know I've mentioned it a couple of episodes ago that I do need to get a jet washer on the farm to start giving my machinery a bit of a clean off, and then I want to give most everything a bit of a brief inspection just to make sure everything's as it should be. The combine harvester will need a bit of an inspection to make sure nothing's clogged. This one definitely needs an inspection, I think, because it's done, what are we at now? Just over 9 hours work time. It definitely needs a wash, and it definitely, yeah, we'll just give it a quick inspection to make sure things are as they should be, because I don't want any breakdowns, any unforeseen expenses. I'm trying to keep the tractors and the machinery in as good a condition as possible. So, I'll see you back at the farm in a minute. We'll get all that done, and then I'm going to go through with you the plan that I've got in mind for my fields, because there is a little bit of a faff involved with that. That may well involve me jumping into Giants Editor. It's not going to be something I'm going to be doing today, but just to give you an idea of where my mind's at and where I think I'm going to go with the fields. So yeah, anyway, back to the farm. See you there in a minute. Right then, okay, here we are. Let's just pull this up here for now. That'll do. Turn the engine off. Lovely stuff. Jump out. And then what we can do is jump into our construction menu and place ourselves down a jet washer. So where am I going? Construction, tools. We'll just go for that one. Don't need anything too fancy. So we'll just place that down here actually, because we can move it around. Yep, placing item. There we are. Lovely stuff. Now then, you see what I mean about the micro stutters though? They're everywhere at the minute. This usually runs like butter for me, but this there's stuttering and whatnot all over the place. But let's hold R. Performing visual inspection. Visually, it's horrible. It's brown. Oh, there we go. Radiator and air intake duct heavily clogged. Okay, no lubrication needed. Everything else looks okay, right? So this is what we need here. So let's give that radiator a good unclogging, shall we? Now, I don't actually know where the air filter sits on this machine. There we go. Give that a good dusting out. And we're not getting any visual dust now from that, so I think that could be considered job done, pretty much. So let's pop that away. Nope, don't need me chainsaw, do I? Right, one last quick check on that. Make sure it's done the job. And I need to do the same with the combine harvester for sure, because that's just had... There we go, good stuff, excellent. Right, that's good. Can we do it with our trailers, actually? No, we can't. Right, okay. Okay, so this one now. Quick inspection. And we are going to need to perform a good bit of maintenance on these in the near future, but... Air intake duct, slightly dirty. Lubrication level, slightly dry. Right, okay. So the air intake duct, let's do this properly, shall we? Just duck down here. I know the air intake duct, I think, is up here, isn't it? Let's drop that down. There we are. Yeah, that's the air intake duct there, isn't it? It's cool to be able to do this, isn't it? Health and safety. There we are. Right. Let's give that a blowing out. I'm not sure where it's expecting lubrication. But I think that's I'm going to say that's done. There we are. Yep. Drop that down. Drop that down. Drop out of there. There's not much going on under there, but that looks like somewhere that would be realistic for adding in a bit of grease, perhaps. There we go. Job done. Pop the lid on that. And back to it again. Quick inspection. Let's see if we've done that right. Oh, lovely stuff. There we go. Excellent. Now because we are going to be needing this again soon. We're not going to be doing it again in this episode. We've run the, we'll give it a bit of a break for a while, I think. But we still have 2 fields of poppies to harvest. So that is something that we do need to get sorted soon. But we're only on the first day of September. So we've got a bit of time ahead of us. We've actually got some rain due between, I think at the minute, the forecast has given it between about 8 and 10 o'clock tonight. So with all that straw being out in the field, that's our next job. I think we need to get that sorted as a matter of urgency. Get the straw picked up. And much like we did in the last episode, and it's going to be quite a job, that, because it's a considerably bigger field, and I'm no doubt going to have considerably more bales than we got out of the, I think it was the barley field that and the wheat field that we did last time, didn't we? Got about 50 odd bales stashed over in the shed, over near the cows and the sheep. So we're likely to get quite a few more today. So yeah, I think that's the job I need to focus on next. But no, I don't think this is going to reach the... no, you need to start the engine to move these things, don't you? It's a bit weird, that. But let's drag it over here. Give this lot a bit of a clean off. Stick it somewhere in the middle between these two here. That'll do. Come out of that. Give the Massey a quick jet off. Need to give this an inspection as well, don't we, while we're here? Because likelihood is it might need something. But we can see the dirt counter there on the right hand side. Currently, where's it gone? 23, 20, 17. It's coming down now. That'll do. Lovely stuff. May as well give the weight a wash while we're here as well. I've never really understood how a weight can degrade condition-wise. It's just a lump of metal hanging off the front, isn't it? But that'll do. And then we can go around here, give the header a wash here. Bit of a clean. There we go. I'm still at just under 30% there. That'll do. There we go. Good stuff. The header trailer's not so bad, is it? So let's get this thing stowed away in the shed for now, out the way. The telehandler does need a bit of a wash. The forage harvester needs a bit of a wash, but we'll sort that out at a later date. We'll turn that off. Come out of there. Good stuff. So let's just give the Massey a quick once over. Check this thing's all as it should be. Oh, good stuff, yeah. Tickety-boo. Lovely. Right then, okay, so now we've done that, I want to jump in. And in fact, what I might do, I think it's probably going to be easier if I do this via flight mode. So, just to show you what my plan is from above. So, starting over here. I could do this from the map PDA, couldn't I? But I'm going to do it from here because it's a little bit more... visually appealing, I suppose. So we had the lavender in this field. We've got this field here, which is empty. It's been empty since day one, and we have the mint here in this field, which is which will be ready to harvest next month. Once that mint has been harvested, the idea is I want to remove these hedgerows that are kind of in between all the fields, and join these 3 fields together to make one big field. Now, eventually, once all this is done, I'd like this to be grass. But we could well profit a little bit from the selling of a few of these trees, because I will have to whip the chainsaw out and chop a few of these trees down. Now, trees are a little bit of a faff, in my personal opinion, especially ones like these. They're not the nice, big, simple, easy to work with pine trees. These are all like the box elders and oaks and all that kind of stuff. So there will be a few straggly branches and such. But ideally, if I can get the main trunks of these trees loaded onto the flatbed trailer, we might be able to get a couple of grand into the bank from chopping them all down. But that's the idea. But there is a little bit of a faff in respect of the hedgerows. Now, the way Oxygen David has done it on this map in a way is you delete the hedges via a load of wooden posts that you'll find dotted around. There's one of them there. So that wooden post there in the construction menu, you highlight that, and it will then highlight, probably in this case, more than likely, the whole perimeter hedgerow that's going to run around these fields. But I don't want to get rid of all of them. I only want to get rid of the ones that are in my way, the ones that are in the centre of the fields here. So what I'll have to do is place a load of them down again back in the construction menu. Now I do have the free placement of hedges mod down, so it's not going to cost me any money to do this, to place the hedges down again, which I think is about right for what I'm planning to do here, because I'm not trying to remove all these hedges. I just want the ones out the way from the that are sitting in between the fields here. So that's what I'm going to do with that anyway. We're going to eventually, once the mint's out the ground and with these three, join all these here together, chop the trees down first, of course, sell a bit of those. We're going to do the same over here. These two fields here, this is a field of poppies on our left, and this is a field of grass on our right. We do need to get this grass mowed because we need some grass and some hay for our animals. So this has all got to be done first before I do any deleting of hedges and joining of fields. But this one in particular, I've gone around everywhere. There is a wooden post there, but that doesn't correspond to this bit of hedgerow here, because this is the only bit of hedgerow I need to delete out of this bit of land here. And I can't seem to find the corresponding wooden post that allows me to delete it, but I can jump into Giants Editor and remove that one there. So I will be doing that, and we'll join these two fields together to make one slightly larger field. That's field 10 up there. The field of poppies that is also ready to cut. We'll probably get down to that in the next episode. And then over here on the other side of the lane, we have 3 fields that we own here. This was our field of wheat that we harvested in episode 1. Again, we've got another small patch of grass here that we need to get cut and turned to hay or silage. We'll wrap it by one of the two either way. And then we've got what was the field of barley over here on the other side of the hedgerow as well. So yeah, you can see, oh hello, I missed a bale. Look at that. Never mind. Right, well, I'll get that sorted out at some point soon when we get the telehandler and the trailer out. But yes, yeah, so I'm going to all I want to remove from this patch of land is, as you can see, no doubt, this strip of hedge here and that one there. But unfortunately, this one here is joined to the one that runs around the entire perimeter of that field, and this one here is pretty much linked into all of this as well. There's the post here that you need to click on in the construction menu to remove pretty much all of these hedges that are around this field. So again, there's going to be a few minutes of mucking around, placing down hedges again, but it looks like there's a good chunk of trees in this area of the field, of these fields as well. So we could get a few grand chopping all these trees down. In my opinion, like I said before, they are a little bit of a faff. Some of the trees work all right, but some of them are a little bit difficult to work with. No doubt this one's going to be a bit of a challenge. What we got here, a box elder. Yeah, we'll have loads of these straggly branches to clear off. So there may well be a couple of trips back into the sawmill or the carpenters to sell some of this wood, but either way, it'll be a few quid in the bank. That's all that matters. Anyway, right, so it's just come 3:05. Let's jump out of flight mode now, and I think what I'm going to do for the last and final job of this episode is I need to go and get that straw picked up, don't I? So I think we will jump in our nice and clean John Deere here. So let's just disconnect that. I'm not going to put that away for now. There we are. Let's jump in the John Deere, because it's pretty much the only one capable of running the baler now. And yeah, go get this straw picked up and see what we get from that. I think what I'll do with this one is I'll pop the whole job into a bit of a time lapse for this one, because it's quite a task. I'm going to be there for quite a while. So I'll go and pick up the baler and get this job done, and I'll chat to you again when we're done. Now then, good evening folks, welcome back. It's been a while for me, it feels like it anyway, but yeah, as you can see, look at that. The bales are solid on the trailer there, all strapped on, no jiggling, no falling off, no trailer bouncing off the ground weirdly. So yeah, that RMC stiff belts mod is great, it really is, but I think it's predominantly aimed at low loaders and articulated lorries and such for transporting vehicles and whatnot. It stops them from sliding around as they used to do on the with just these normal straps. So yeah, now that we've got that mod disabled, the bales are working fine. So yeah, we did not too bad off of that field. We got 48 bales, I think it was. Yeah, 48 bales, 7,500 litres a bale has given us 360,000 litres of straw. So add that on to what we had before from the last couple of grain harvests. We've got 690,000 litres of straw on the farm now. So I think we're going to be all right for straw for a little while. That's all I can say. So yeah, that's all good. But I'm going to be taking this batch of the bales here over to the dairy barn. May as well load them off there and just have them nearby so we can blow some straw into the cows for bedding and such when we need it, and obviously for the total mix ration when we get it mixed up. But that'll be coming in a future episode. I do need to spend an episode focusing on the animals. I feel just you know, I'm finding my feet with this thing. I really am. There's so much to do. I know it might just seem like a normal Let's Play series, I suppose, to some of you, but genuinely, it really isn't. There's a lot more to take on board. There really is. But like I keep saying, I'm absolutely loving it. I really am. So yeah. But one thing I did, I felt I kind of glossed over it before when I was going through the field plan idea that I've got in my head. I kind of, I think I lost track of myself. There was a couple of things I hadn't pointed out that I wanted to do. So if I'm just going to jump into the PDA again very quickly and show you what the plans were. So very quickly again, these three fields, once we've got the mint out the ground here in field 6, once that's all done, then I'm going to remove these hedges, remove the trees, and join these three together to make one big field. Field 15, 18 and 19 here. Once 18 has been cut and the grass is out the way, baled up and whatnot, we'll be joining these three fields together to make another larger field. And again, fields 7 and 8 will do the same with those once these poppies are out the ground. And that will give us then, at the minute, we've got 12 fields. That'll take the total down to 7. But that doesn't, you know, that's not a negative thing in my eyes. Now, I've always preferred to play with slightly bigger fields, and I know this map is a beautiful map. I absolutely love it. But for me, personally, I just find the fields are a little bit small, and I think it will increase the earning potential as well at the end of the day. We put a decent crop in in a larger field than what we've got now. We're going to get a bit more money for it. Now, I'm going to be... At the minute, the idea is these three fields, once they've been turned into one field, that's going to be grass, and these three fields are going to be grass as well. And then we've got essentially one field for grass for turning to silage and one field for grass for turning to hay, and that will pretty much deal with what I hope that will deal with what we need for the animals, because the sheep need hay for 100% productivity at the minute. They haven't got any of that. They're just sitting at 80%. When we join fields 7 and 8 together, obviously that'll just make one slightly better sized field. So with that in mind, we'll have a grass field, we'll have a hay field, and we'll have 5 other fields for essentially making money. We'll have field 10 up here, which currently has poppies in. We've got field 34, field 28, and field 27 there, and obviously the combined field 7 and 8 here. So that'll give us 5 fields to get making some money from, which I think is going to be a pretty cool idea. Now, at the minute, where we are in September, what's going on here? What's It's this corner again, isn't it? It's got stuck on something. Oh, there we are. It's the bollard there he's got stuck on. My auto drive network, I suppose. I hadn't factored in. Because it is, to be fair, it is quite a long trailer, this one, isn't it? Right, let's just send that off with auto drive there again for a minute. We're all almost there. Why aren't you working? We should take you to the dairy barn now, shouldn't it? Yeah, there you go. That was a bit weird. Oh, came out of cab then, didn't I? Goodness me! I broke my one rule. I just realised what I did there. Shocking. Devastated. Ruined the whole thing. But yeah, so where we are in September at the minute, we can plant. We've got quite a bit of choice available to us. So we can plant alfalfa, barley, canola, clover, linseed, poppies, rye, wheat, green rye, and triticale. And the lavender and mint, they are... The planting season for lavender is May and June, and the planting season for mint is March. So I'd like to keep my finger in a bit of those because I think they could be quite lucrative when we, especially... I'm also thinking still about the whole idea of investing in the prime oil processing plant. Now, I really do want to do that, but that was going to mean getting even further into debt. Now, we've got available to us in the bank manager essentially will give us, I think we've got just over £400,000 worth of available credit to us within that bank system, as it were. So the prime oil processing plant comes in at around 230 grand. So if I was to do that, we can do. If I wanted to, we've got the ability to do that, but we'll see how we go first and foremost. We'll see where the next few episodes take us. Because we've got the realistic economy mod running, we're not going to be earning huge amounts of money. It's just a much more realistic level of money, I think. So we'll see how it goes. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, the main thing was I think I just glossed over that field plan idea that I had in my head, and I just wanted to show it you from above in the PDA as well. So we've got essentially, once we get to where I want to be, we'll have 2 relatively sizable grass and hay fields, and then 5 separate other fields there for making some money from with cereal crops. So that's all good. But I think I've now got, what time is it now? It's 5:45. The weather forecast, we had rain forecast from between, it was going to start around 8 o'clock, but that's actually shifted now till 9 o'clock. So I've got an hour or so more to play with, so I can go and get the rest of those bales out of the field and get them stowed away before the rain comes, and then that's all good. But that's going to take me a good few hours, but the main thing is I'm just happy that I can actually transport the bales now without them jiggling around and falling all over the place. That's the main thing. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that off camera and get that job done before the next episode. But for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like if you can too. It does do wonders. Helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And also, if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a number of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code, if any of you are in the market for Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There's coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support there, ladies and gentlemen, as always, is massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.